Hello potters. We are going to be making a wind chime today, a summer wind chime, and so we're going to put our first and last name on this paper. We're going to get a chunk of clay and we're going to be rolling it to this size right here. So to start with, I'm going to wedge it, which means I'm going to smush it and fold it and smush it and fold it, just like so. And then I want to get it into a block form like that. Big Tootsie Roll. And then I'm going to smush it with my hands. I'm not pounding it. And then I have some tools. So I want it to be this thick. So I'm going to get my rolling pin now. And I'm going to roll it wide. Roll it longer. And then I'm gonna flip it over, roll it a little wider, roll it a little longer, keeping it on the slat so I don't get it too thin. Push this over a little bit more. So I think I'm gonna move a little clay around here. Just add that over there, roll that in. I think that ought to be good. Okay, so now I'm gonna put this on here. It doesn't quite fit, but you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect either. So, I'm just gonna straighten my edges and straighten this edge up here and straighten this edge down here. Now, I will need a little bit more clay for some more slabs. Make another little slab about the size of my hand, my palm. Let's check that. Is that, yep, that's good. Okay, so I've got both these things here. So I think I'll just roll this up, and then I'm gonna stack these on my lunch tray for tomorrow, to begin tomorrow's work. Here we are tomorrow, and we have our 2 pieces of clay. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some textures. So I've got this texture with these flowers, and I'm just gonna roll this on here. And you can see that when I roll it, it's gonna move the clay. It's gonna make it just a little bit bigger. Okay, and then I'm gonna roll it on this too, because I want that texture. And this one, I'm gonna do each side. Okay, so just gonna gently press it here because it's getting pretty thin. Then I have another thing here. I have a butterfly, and I think I'm gonna put the butterfly right here. And I'm gonna put the butterfly here. And you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. So now I can put those tools away. So now here I have a butterfly cookie cutter. Oh my gosh, I have a butterfly theme. You don't have to do a butterfly theme. There's lots of different things you can do for this. I'm gonna straighten this back up. And I'll straighten that side up. You know, like I said, it doesn't have to be exactly what the template does. It's just kind of close. Now, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna make it into a bell. A little slip. I'm gonna put some wet scratches along here. Just get some water in there, get some mud. And I'm gonna do it over here. Scratch that. My butterflies are facing up now. I'm just gonna put this seam together, and it's gonna be really wobbly and not very strong here for a moment. Partly because my clay is pretty wet, and partly because this is not a very strong form. There we go. Okay, now my butterflies are upright again, and my seam is on the edge here. And so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scratch here. Put some mud there, and then I'm gonna press this together like that. And now I have a bell form. I'm just gonna smooth that out. Smooth this out. I have my pieces, so I have these pieces, and you know what? I think I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with this or if I'm gonna go with these. So I'm gonna make a ball that's gonna be my ringer on the inside. And then I need to make some holes. So if you make your holes with a pin tool, probably they're not gonna be big enough for string later. So we're gonna make our holes with straw. And we also don't want to make the hole right next to the edge of the clay. So see how I've got it? And then I need a hole going through this ball. And if you guys hear anything, if you just use a pin tool, you might as well not even make a hole, because it's going to close up on you. I'm going to need a hole. You can just have a hole going through this top part. Just like that, all right? As long as it's not right on the edge. So sink it down just a little bit. So now I have this all done, and I'm not gonna know what's what later. So I'm gonna these. Thank you for being good listeners. So now our pot is fired, and at a bisqueware stage, we're gonna start stringing it together. So you wanna get 2 arm length pieces of cord that are folded in half. So it's twice your arm length, folded in half. Then you're going to stick each end through a hole. So the right side gets a hole, the left side gets a hole. Once those are through, you're gonna pull them so that the top is pulled down to the top of the bell. Here you can see I've pulled it all the way down, and then once I have pulled it down, I'm going to wrap the cord around my fingers, and then I'm gonna take my fingers out and put the end of the cord through the hole, creating a knot. Then I'll pull that, pull the top up, and that is your top piece for the string. Then I'm going to take both cords, and I'm going to stick the ball through both cords, and I'm going to mark where about the ball will hit the bottom of the bell. You can mark this with a marker, or you can just use your finger. You're gonna go around your fingers through the hole and gently put the knot there. Don't tie it tight yet, because we're not sure if it'll work. So now I'm gonna test it. It seems to work fine. So now I'm going to tie that tight, and then I'm going to tie on my wind catcher that's going to move the ball inside the bell. I'll tie 1 knot, and then I'll tie 2 knots, and then I will trim that. Test it again.